Okay. Enough of you. What the? Hello, hello, hello. My name is Shelly. Welcome to Words That Power Murder Hour. I have to share stuff right quick. Do, do, do. I have to do this slightly different when I'm on the StreamYards. I think, wait, oh, no, I don't. Hold on. Wait, what? Hey, Sharmir, how you doing? Aha. Now Facebook. Any day. I look like I'm side-eyeing somebody and just like, motherfucker. I'm not, but whatever. Well, I kind of am, actually. Hey, Jackie, how you doing? Hey, Stacy. Okay, so wow, it's been a week. It's been a week, y'all. Oh boy. Hey, Ballistic, how you doing? What's up? I don't know if y'all can hear baby girl out there playing. She is having awesome amounts of fun. She had me wearing bunny ears earlier. So, and Marcus was wearing a panda head from Halloween. So these are the bunny ears I get to wear on occasion right here. These are the bunny ears. Fun times. I am not a bunny, but you know, for baby girl. And somebody had asked about the blankets I was making, and they're right here. This one, these two are done, and this orange one, I love this blanket. This stays on the couch, right? And now I'm making another gray. They're just a giant granny square, is what it is. And I can make one of these if I wanted to. I could probably make it in 3 days. No joke. So quick. I'm thinking about putting like trim on the edges or something. But hey, Leanne, how you doing? So yeah, I'm actually making blankets for like myself and the house. It's really weird. I normally make blankets for children and babies and elders. So it's very strange. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like the variegated colors because then you don't have to switch colors out. So there are fewer strings to take care of at the end. I just it's kind of like cheating, but not. I don't know. But yeah, I'm all about the variegated colors. So, and we decided we're gonna redo the living room in like autumn colors. Um, so yeah, I was thinking about redoing the bedroom too, but I don't even know what to do. Maybe purple. I don't even know. Um, okay, so someone else had asked me what coffee is my favorite, and at the moment that would be this Crave coffee. This one is butter toffee. Yeah, this is so good, so good. I haven't even looked at my sub count. I try not to because YouTube is weird. Hold on. Um, People are unsubscribed randomly, and it's just all kinds of strange. Ooh, 160, right on. Hey, y'all. That is awesome. Oh, and the views are, y'all. All right, so I think I said something about this in passing, but we have, I kind of put the word out to some of the victims advocates I've worked with and I told them, hey, by the way. And apparently some of them are using the videos, the little snippet videos, because they're short, right? And I try to get to the point and validate what is and what is not abuse, right? So, yeah, no, you don't have to subscribe. Okay, you don't have to. It's not a prerequisite. If you're a victim's advocate or you think you might be in an abusive relationship, what have you, those videos are there to help you. Although it does help with the algorithm so that other people who need them can see them and find them in the first place. So, but um, yeah, I know, right? That's really good. Now, if YouTube will let people who have subscribed keep their subscription, that would be awesome. That would be really cool. This is hard work. 120? Really? Wow. I stopped looking because it was soul crushing. It was really, really hard. Hey, Theater Vamp, how you doing? What's up? So yeah, the coffee is good today. I needed it to be good. There is a little bit of cinnamon in here, a little chocolate. We have some yummy creamer, which is, I think, French vanilla. Along with the butter toffee. It's good stuff. All right. So yeah, the research I've been doing lately has been rough. It has been hard on me. And there's a lot to it, so I'm going to have to do more than one stream on this subject. Okay. I'm going to be doing my hair and makeup as I listen, but I'll still be here chatting when I can. I get you. I do that same thing. I was watching Charlotte's channel doing my hair and makeup and, well, trying to find my brush so I could brush my hair. And, yeah, tough subject is kind of putting it lightly because it's like a puzzle and there are a lot of pieces to the puzzle. Self-care, this right here is part of my self-care. That's why I've been making so many blankets. Right there. And they're pretty nice. The orange was on the couch and it looks so good. Like it's a nice pop of color against the red couch cover. Char doesn't realize she goes on during my nap time. Right on. Half the time when she's on, I'm researching, like reading articles or whatever. So it's like that's another form of self-care for me. There's another content creator who seems really nice and is really chill, and you know, I don't know. Her chat is usually a safe space, if you will. Hey, T-Spiracy, how you doing? How is everybody doing today? Before we get started on this topic, how you doing? Hi, Frog Mom. How you doing? Also, before do you have some self-care? Have you a bottle of water nearby? Because if I say something that is triggering, I apologize ahead of time. But if you have water and you hydrate your body and your brain, it helps. If you're triggered, that does help. Which reminds me, I probably need to grab a cup of water at some point. Also, triggering your senses. Oh, I totally forgot on this. 1 second. So this is one of the things I use. Let me see if you'll be able to see it. I love this stuff. I am, I'm not being trite when I say that I'm addicted to this, because I've been using this stuff since I lived in Miami. Love it. This is one of my favorite colognes to use. I just love lavender. Hey, Police Wife Life, how you doing? Well, I'm sorry you're having a rough day, night. Sending you hugs, love. Do your self-care, drink you some water. Hydrate. I keep saying hydrate, and it's true, Hydrating when you're having like any kind of trauma or a bad day or whatever. Believe it or not, when you're traumatized or having a bad day, your body has a response, and so does your brain, and your brain can kind of shrink a little bit. There have been papers about this. So hydrating actually does help. So I'm not saying that to be silly or anything. Triggering your senses, so smell, sight, sound, textile, feeling. So I may reach over here and feel up on the blankets a little bit. Yeah, well, everybody, let's send some love to Police Wife Life. Whatever it is she's going through. And I'm not a Christian, but I do pray. So I will do some praying for you. Wow, there are 12 people here. Look at that. That's pretty amazing, man. We're up to 160 subscribers. That is good. I haven't been looking at the dashboard, like the YouTube dashboard. I'm just not looking. I try not to, because like I'll gain some subs and then they'll disappear. And I know people will email me and tell me that their sub disappeared, and so they resubscribe, and it's really discouraging. So like, I don't know. I got a steroid shot from the doctor. Ouch. Ouch. Sending you love as well. The chat is full of awesome humans tonight, right? And that's a good thing. That is awesome. I have been busting my ass, like, good Lord. And all the social medias, it's just, it is a lot, okay? I still haven't figured out Instagram, and I think that's going to be slightly on the back burner because I don't get it. It just doesn't compute with me. The murder word in your YouTube name may have caused it. Oh. Okay. All right, so maybe we should change the name on that. I was wondering about that anyway, but I kind of wanted to hopefully attract people in true crime to kind of maybe sway them into thinking about victims and survivors as humans. So I was kind of trying to be like a sort of a sneak attack, like, hey, can we change true crime a little bit? But I'll think about, maybe I'll think about doing that tonight. What should we change that to? I don't want to just use words have power, because there are some videos out there about bullying that are titled that, and I don't want to take away from their importance. So that's weird. So if you type in the first half, it doesn't automatically pull up, huh? All right. All right. We'll have to change it. I don't know what to. Just when I think I have one thing figured out and settled, that thing turns out not to be. Okay. I don't know. We're going to have to brainstorm on that, because it's not just me anymore. So we do have a Discord, which we probably have to do some work on that tonight as well. The algorithm, look, the algorithm is weird. But whatever adjustments I need to make, I'll do it, because for those of you who haven't been here before, on this channel, we talk about domestic violence, stalkers, abusive behaviors, toxic personalities and behaviors. Only use the, I see, I didn't know that. Thank you, T-Spiracy. I had no idea. Okay, we will fix that. Then we're going to have to fix it on all the friggin' social media. That's going to suck. So I am an ex-sheriff's deputy. I went into the sheriff's department to help people. For most of my adult life, I have been building cases against stalkers for clients who a lot of the time didn't have the money to pay for a team of people to help them. So a lot of the work was pro bono. Also, I worked as a victim's advocate for I don't even know how long, in different states. It wasn't just here in Louisiana. So I'm looking at true crime and toxic behavior from a slightly different perspective. I am not a lawyer. I am not a counselor. But when you're a cop or when you're a victim's advocate, you kind of have to be kind of a bit of all of the above, right? Okay. So, sent your channel out in a tweet. Thank you. It's going to be interesting when we change the name. Also, can I say how good it felt to get Jessica's case back? Right. That was a relief. I'm thankful. Hopefully they do a good job with it. Well, listen, I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard Bailey Syrian say that the name of her show gets her demonetized automatically. Jesus. And she's amazing. Wow. I love Bailey Syrian. She's one of my break things. Like Bailey Syrian, the Welsh brothers, when they start laughing, yes. Sure, we can brainstorm. We can do that tonight after this live stream. Well, I think Sunshinery is doing a live stream at some point. I saw when it was, and then it left my brain because I was in the middle of researching. But yeah, we can all brainstorm on that. That's fine. Whatever I can do to make it easier for victims and their families to find these videos is what I will do. Because I'm not here, like, I have a purpose and a point to why I'm here. And if the name of the channel is subverting that, then it's going to have to change. That's why I thought it was an issue, but I vaguely remember another YouTuber saying about it. Right. I always have a video up in my tabs and only found her within the last few months. She is like makeup goals. I mean, damn. And T-spiracy with that damn hair. You're tempting me to cut my hair again. I don't want my whole family mad at me though, so and also my hair will not hold a curl. Like you see how my hair is? That's how it has decided it's gonna stay. I can braid it, I can put it up, but it will not curl. A list of other names too. Jesus. How about Truth Hour? I hope you can just work around words with power in some way. Charlotte changed hers slightly. Yeah. Oh man, dude, look, Bailey, I would kill to have her makeup collection and be able to wear it. I just got a trim because I had family pics this week and the lady teased it. See, teasing doesn't even work with my hair. It doesn't seem to, as I can spend forever curling, and I've had friends help me with this. Hairstylists curl my hair like they do, and then maybe 4 hours later, my hair is straight again. So, yeah, she is life goals. Your hair is fried, so it holds everything. So that's the key. I can't. I'm not willing to fry my hair. Like some of her stuff is drugstore stuff too. Yes, I know. Well, we know that. I mean, my skin is so sensitive, and I'm allergic to so many things that. I mean, at this point, it's just ColourPop and Jovia's Place. That's all I can use. That I'm like stuck in this very narrow. I don't know. It sucks because there's some amazing makeup out there. I'd be all over that shit. You know I love bright colors, but you know, this lady used me for her portfolio today. Dude, I had a bob back in the day and I tried to learn how to do pin curls. My hair will not hold a curl. I actually had to pin the curls up to keep them there, like very artfully. I'm all about like vintage. If you saw my wardrobe, someday I'll wear some of my stuff. I'll bust out some of the stash. I have a dress that would look perfect on you, T-spiracy. I have 2, possibly 4, but there's a blue with white polka dot dress. If I wear that and walk in a room, it's very interesting, the responses I get. You have to pin them while your hair is hot and let them cool. Yeah, it still doesn't. I'm part Cherokee. My hair just says no. My mom used to do. There was one thing that my great grandmother did with the rags where you curl your hair around the pieces of fabric and tie them up. That actually worked okay. Hey Jamie, how you doing? Big fan. Thank you for your helpful opinions. I'll be out listening and wanted to say hello to you. Wicked into vintage stuff lately. Dude, I've been into vintage stuff since I was a kid. We had a bunch of look, I may have to come on your show and tell you about the house I grew up in, which was haunted. And I can prove it. But she had a bunch of her clothes there still. And So the old cloche hats, and like I have some of her jackets and whatnot. They're just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And there's one that I always wear that I got from my grandmother. She wore it when she was pregnant with my mom. My mom wore it when she was pregnant with me, and I've worn it during my pregnancies. So it's at some point it's going to my daughters. But polka dots, halter tops. Yeah, this is I'll have to wear it sometime. It is, oh my god, I saw that dress and I was like, mine. Like, and I also have some like flapper type dresses, like more authentic, not the Halloween costume store stuff. Um, you would probably like, what is that store? There's a store here in New Orleans, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's all vintage clothing and accessories. Um, I wish I could just ruffle my hair and be done. That'd be awesome. This week I'm making schedule stuff for my scary story show. Well, I got something for you because my great grandmother didn't play at all. Oh, thank you, baby. Yeah. You want to jump on or? Well, okay. Grab a shirt. You're goofy. Marcus is over here and he's like, I would jump on, but I have no shirt. Yes, these flapper dresses. So after Katrina, I had worked security after Katrina for I don't know how long. And then, God, I wish I could remember the name of Trashy Divas. Trashy Diva. You might want to check them out. When they reopened, I went and bought 2 dresses and 2 slips for those dresses from Trashy Diva. I walked in and I was like, I need something. I need some self-care right now. So yeah, I spoiled myself completely. I wish they would bring back halter tops. I mean, you can wear whatever you want, you know, and if people don't like it, whatever. I wore them when they were in, and hip hugger bell bottoms and butterfly sleeves. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that like fashion should just be what you want it to be. You only live once, so whatever. I'm napping half my life, so I can't be in anything fancy. Some days I wish for straight hair. Honestly, this is hard, and I have crazy poofy hair. Well, I mean, we always want what we don't have, right? Yeah, Marcus was in here like, no, I'm not going on live stream. I have no shirt on. My mom, somewhere there's a picture of my mom. She was like the poster child for flower children, and she had these bell bottoms she made, and she was voted, what was it, Blue Jean Queen or something. And those bell bottoms were epic. They were the bell bottoms. I might get back into sewing actually. There are some dresses that I want to make from like paintings and pictures, and I don't know how to feel about bell bottoms. I mean, they can just be comfy. You know what I mean? You know, put on a pair of like nice comfy shoes and like a comfy shirt. They can just be comfy. But I see what you're saying. Anything goes. Yes, and it should be that way. I just bought some new hair claws and a pair of bell bottoms. I'm embracing this 90s comeback. 90s. Oh, Lord. Wow. When is the goth portion of the 90s come back? That's my question. I'm fine with that. That would work for me. We'd buy them, then slice the bottoms and would add material. That's what my mom did. Yeah. They were cool. All right. I like tulle dresses. Yeah, so do I. Yep. I like a variety of different periods. So I have one dress is like it looks like a prairie kind of dress, if you will. Um, yeah, because of how I grew up in my great grandmother's house, there were like different styles of clothing, and I was like, I just want to wear all of it, you know. So she had like the pencil skirts with a slit and like, but like very tastefully done. Wait, the goth portion of the 90s ended. Not really, not for me. Um, I haven't been gothed out on here yet, but that may have to happen. When we get closer to Halloween, it's going to get interesting up in here. Okay. Of Herbs and Altars, I'm already subscribed to her. I love her. Yet again, makeup goals. Oh my God. Just, she's so gorgeous. She is so gorgeous. And like the way she speaks about things, obsessed. Yes. She is one of the fairy goth mothers. So I did the bare minimum with makeup today because researching the Duggars it's more than the Duggars. Platform shoes were dangerous for me too. Yes, I think they're dangerous for most people, really. I like wedge shoes without the straps. Those are like ultimate comfy, just chilling, you know, go with anything, just about. Yeah, of I always say her name wrong. Hold on. Of Herbs and Altars. She's really amazing. I like her stuff. Okay. I don't even know where to begin with the Duggars because it isn't just the Duggars, right? Right now, we're just going to talk about the Duggars, but I'm going to do some more live streams, episodes, whatever, videos, talking about the groups and communities surrounding the Duggars because it isn't just them. They're like the obvious, viewable, minuscule tip of the iceberg with all of this quiverful movement and everything else. I mean, the name is actually what got me to go to her channel in the first place, and the thumbnail with the makeup. All right, so the Duggars. So keep in mind that I'm looking at this from the perspective of an ex-court deputy. I worked in criminal courts. I did not work in the federal criminal court, right? I worked in a magistrate court, in a magistrate criminal court. In my courtroom, we had a magistrate judge, and we also had judges who would come in who weren't like judges, if that makes sense. So I worked with Judge Henson and also judges Jeruso, Russo, Cantrell, and Bookman. So there were 5 judges. And we had domestic violence court, drug court, and then regular court. So it was an all-day long affair for me. But I also patrolled and other things, ran paperwork. It was a lot. I was not paid enough. And so when I'm looking at the images that were released of Josh Duggar in court, and he's smirking, and his body language, his facial expressions, all of this and that, and then I'm taking into account the culture that he was brought up in and the cultural norms in those groups, because it's more than one group. He's very arrogant. He thinks that he's going to be fine. It's obvious in his facial expressions, right? He's not even really worried. He's not really nervous. He's not expressing any kind of stress or tension from what I could see. Why? Why is that? Anyone else with charges like this, especially brought out in the public, would be humiliated. They would be very nervous. I know because I've seen this. Okay, that's why I'm talking about this, because I've seen people brought in on charges like this. Who they had other charges that were in criminal court, but then they also would have a case, like multiple, usually cases in federal court. So it gets complicated, right? Okay, so let's have a sit down and talk about this, because it's a lot. If you're looking at the way they tell boy children that they are going to grow up to be the masters of their household, that there is God, and then there is them, and then there's the wife, and then there's the children, right? So there's a hierarchy, and boys are going to be right up under God. They're going to be right underneath God. This is the way they're raised. And they're also raised that women are supposed to be and are meant to be, according to God's word and law and commandment, women are meant to be beneath men at all times, right? Hold on, the chat is going, and you know I can only go back so far. It's hard to judge his body language if we don't know his baseline, but you do know his baseline. If you go and you watch, it's all out there. If you watch there was all kinds of material where he was like with his family and all this and that, just, cooking, cleaning, doing like everyday stuff. You can see his baseline. That's what I did. It's been a rough week for me. So I went and watched and picked up on his baseline and just his day-to-day behavior, and then watch him in court. He's not worried. He seemed slightly unnerved, and I'll talk about why I think that is in a minute. And by the way, from this, just understand that everything I'm saying is my opinion. It is my opinion. That is all I can give. This is all alleged. In my opinion, I'm just speculating. You would almost read, I'm going to be fine. They don't have enough. And my dad has money and good lawyers and connections. Yeah. I was more nervous the last time I got stopped for speeding. Right. Or drove around a police officer, because that's a thing. I think I mentioned before I was on jury. That's typical though. The body language panel, have you watched them? No, I have not. I think he's a psychopath. He might be. There's a new term for that now, and it's letters. So of course, with my dyslexia, I forget it. What is it? ASPD? Antisocial personality disorder, I think it is. Okay, so in this culture, women are seen as less than, and not as intelligent, shouldn't be in positions of power, shouldn't be working outside of the home, shouldn't be alone with a man they're not married to or related to in a room or anywhere, really. They're supposed to be chaperoned. Even a grown-ass woman in her 60s, like a grandmother, whatever, she's supposed to be chaperoned around men at all times, right? ASPD, right. So he's in a courtroom. He's got a woman judge who's telling him that you better not violate any of these stipulations or you're going to be remanded. Is he going to take her seriously? She's a woman. Think about it. Is he going to take her seriously at all? Is that maybe part of the reason that he's not even concerned, because it's a woman judge, and in his mind, women are less than, and she's an outsider to that group, right? And people who are outsiders to that group are less than. It's the whole thing with the othering, right? People who are not part of that group are other and they are less than. So, okay. So, is he actually going to follow any of these guidelines? Is my question. Also, part of the reason he might have been arrogant in that situation is because there's a woman judge and there are other women, like women agents and whatnot, involved in positions of power over the situation. But also, him and his family are very well, like ridiculously politically connected. Think about it. He wasn't turned in to police by a police officer who was friends with his daddy, and that police officer was later charged, convicted, and sentenced. He got a huge sentence for what? I find that very questionable. How? I have so many questions. Like always, I have a shitload of questions. How is it that, what is the dad's name? Josh Duggar's dad. I don't remember. Of course he won't. Some people like him don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. Well, he wouldn't either because his crimes are against little girls. Jim Bob. Okay. Isn't it weird that Jim Bob has so many sexual predators around him? I have questions. Isn't it weird that Josh was sent to speak with a law enforcement officer, which started the clock on a statute of limitations? And that officer did not turn that information into his higher ups, which he should have. That was a breach of protocol. That's malfeasance. Isn't that interesting? So in these cultures, even with little girls, if they are subjected to any kind of offense, please infer, it is considered their fault. They did something. They did not dress modestly enough. They said something that was inappropriate. They did something that was inappropriate. It is their fault. This culture is based on slut shaming, slut blaming, victim shaming. All of the cards are stacked against little girls and women. Every single one. Everything is stacked in favor of men. And this is purposefully done by the men who started these groups who were problematic. I'm going to be doing more live streams about this. I'm going to go in depth. I'm putting my cop hat on, which when I was in law enforcement, I didn't cuss at people. I never got into any fights with anyone. I didn't carry a weapon. I used my brain. So that's what we're going to be doing for a while. Now we're going to have other types of videos that are important as well. But once a week, we're going to talk about these groups. Why? Because these are problematic groups that perpetuate the victimization of children and women and men and queer people and people of color and on and on and on. These groups are in fact a perpetuation of white supremacy in all of its worst forms. And a lot of white women think that they are exempt from that, but no, you're not. Neither are your children. So we're going to talk about it. Jim Bob. I don't even. So another thing is I have synesthesia, I see sound, okay? And the Jim Bob's voice, I had to mute. There's something wrong. I can't speculate on what that is, but I couldn't listen to his voice. Thank you, Sharemare, for sharing that. It definitely belongs here. I'm just careful to assign it to all of them. My dumbass brother got caught up with a truck full of pot in Texas, right? And I get you, but with this kind of behavior that Josh Duggar has exhibited since his teens, a lot of the time they learn that from somewhere. And a lot of the time, they themselves are victims. Not always, but is there something wrong with the sound, y'all? Okay, so now he's staying in this house with these people who are friends of his dad's. Yet again, the friends of the dad keep coming in, right? There is a pattern of friends of the dad coming in and helping bail this guy out repeatedly. Why? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. You know there's a problem. The problem is real. At this point, everyone in the world knows just about, right? So how can you brush that under the rug? But they're going to try. And he has victimized and repeatedly re-victimized children. There's a passage in the Bible where God says, or was it, I can't remember if it was God or Jesus, says something along the lines of people who harm children having a heavy stone placed around their neck and tossed into the ocean. I'm just saying, it's right there in your Bible. All right, so there's a lot to this, but this family where he's going to go stay with them, I'm worried. I'm actually actively worried for the wife and the daughter. They're both adults, right? But in this group, you can and will be judged for the slightest thing. So let's say he wants something. He demands something. And then he says to one or both of these women, if you don't do what I say, I'll tell people that you did this or that and destroy your reputation. It's called coercive control. I wouldn't be surprised. He's a man, and he's been told that he is just beneath God. And whatever he does is fine because he's just beneath God. It's called the Hungry Hungry Hippo game, the gnashing of the teeth. Yeah. Have you ever listened to Michelle's robocall against? Yes, unfortunately. It's been a hard week. It's been a hard week because I'm queer. Hi. So in effect, she was talking about me and many of the people I love in my queer family. Yeah. Matthew 18:6, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. There's no but except if. I think that's pretty fucking clear. It kind of sounds like some of these groups might be hypocritical and cherry picking from their sacred text, which happens often in any religion. It's a thing that happens. But when it comes to the safety and well-being of children, that just takes it to a whole nother level. And I am hoping that the CSJ, criminal justice system, dyslexia, I'm hoping that it doesn't fail again. How many chances is this guy going to be given? Why is he a golden child? Why were so many of his siblings victimized and then he was protected? I don't even understand it. I understand loving your child and wanting to protect your child and wanting to, keep your child safe, etc. But I don't understand this at all. And I wonder, because his wife would have been indoctrinated into thinking that she's below her husband. She's below him. And she has to comply with any of his demands, whatever they may be, right? And if she divorces him or leaves him, then she will no longer be under that umbrella of God's protection. Think about that. You've been raised your whole life to believe that if you leave your abusive husband for the safety and well-being of yourself and your children, you're going to end up having all of the worst possible things happen to you and your children. That is what she was raised with. She's probably absolutely terrified right now. So I really would like to see certain content creators and people out there just shut the fuck up with their vitriol against that young woman, because she, in her culture, she's directly between a rock and a hard place. She's right there. And who knows what abuse she is going through and has been enduring. There's no telling. And she's living on the property of the family of the person who could be the source of all her pain. Tell me they're not trying to manipulate, gaslight, and coercive control her. Come on now. I was not born yesterday. I've worked in criminal courts. I've seen shit that would make your hair stand up on end and fall out. He was protected because his family had way more political plans, right? I mean, I think that's... Thank you, Stacy. To me, with Jim Bob right now, it feels like he is trying to protect their beliefs in the family rep. Yes. Yeah. That's probably it. But I mean, another thing that we have to talk about is this type of offender, because I've had a bunch of people asking me questions. Firstborn male, narcissistic parenting. He's always been the golden child scapegoat. I was both in my family. It was confusing. Jesus. Wow. Wow, Ballistic. That is... Shelly, I'm not sure, but I don't live that far away from the Duggars. In this area, this is very prevalent. It was this way with my family, and I wasn't raised in religion. Jesus. All right. She also grew up in bad poverty. The Duggars pulled her out of that. Oh, see, I didn't know that bit. So then there's another point that they could use against her, or that someone could, or that she could just be afraid of, is going back to that poverty. I mean, well, I mean, different levels of poverty can have different effects on people. You know what I mean? And she has 6 children and a 7th on the way. Jesus. That's a lot. That is a lot. So where would she go with all these children? Where would she go? That's my question. Is her family going to back her? I heard that she has a brother and some other siblings who have been trying to help her. Are they going to be able to really help her, like substantially? Give her and her children a safe place to live, etc., and also help her overcome the I'm just going to straight up say it, because if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. The brainwashing that she has been put through. Her father was a jailhouse minister with 7 kids. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. But also, let's consider and talk about for a second something. I've had a bunch of people asking me questions, so I'm going to address that here. These types of offenders, please infer what I mean. You cannot rehabilitate these kinds of offenders. It isn't possible. There have been all kinds of studies, and I have read a bunch of papers and whatnot on this subject for work, right? These kinds of offenders cannot be rehabilitated, and there have been different attempts with chemical castration, actual castration. There have been several different tries at this. Okay, I'm gorgeous for tonight, and I use my new ColourPop palette. Right on. Yeah, I used that today. Everything, I don't have much makeup on right now, but it's all ColourPop because I don't feel like being in pain. So, okay, Anna and Michelle, both. Yes, really. I mean, so with these kinds of offenders, their attractions, it's how their brain is wired. Okay? You can't change how their brain is wired. So even if you do something that inhibits their ability with their genitalia, it doesn't mean that that has changed the wiring of their brain, right? So they can still use other means to offend and continue offending in other ways, all right? So chemical castration and full actual castration don't work. There are papers out there. You can look it up. You don't have to believe me. You can believe the experts. You can also go and on Real Crime Profile, Jim Clemente and Laura Richards talk about this, and they are experts. I fangirl over them. This is a sexual orientation. You can't change that. That has been evident from all the times people tried to convert gay people. Difference there is being gay doesn't harm anyone. Yes, I was going to say, as a queer person, I do not claim any of these offenders at all, ever. Will never happen. None of us do. And no. I will for sure. And wait, hold on. And plan on going on cam tonight. So had to get all pretty for everyone. Right on. Castration can actually make offenders more sadistic in some cases. Yes, I was about to start talking about this, and this is where I say trigger warning. This is why I brought up have some water. Trigger your senses. Okay. There are many cases that I've read about where offenders who are chemically castrated or otherwise reoffend, and it is worse than what it was before, because they are frustrated that they cannot do what they want to do. So chemical castration and actual castration are actually not recommended by any expert that I have read. In fact, they suggest not doing that for that reason. I am of the opinion that, keep in mind, I worked in criminal courts, okay? I am of the opinion that people who have smoked a joint or jaywalked or been accused of stealing a backpack should not be held in jail or prison, give them a summons, have them come in for their court date. Leave all of that space in the prisons and the jails open for offenders like this. Don't give them a slap on the wrist. Brock Turner should be in prison right now. All of these others should be in prison right now. don't give them a pass of any kind. If they are found to have this kind of evidence, some of these offenders have a mountain of evidence and witnesses and on and on. Brock Turner had 2 witnesses who walked up on what he was doing. And they were so traumatized, they had to go to therapy. All of the cultures of the entire world need to start getting all of our collective priorities the fuck together. Here's where I start cussing. Warning, earphones, earbuds. What in the fuck are we doing? Letting people who offend against children out of prison, ever. Because if they've done it, if they have done it, they're gonna do it again. This is a pattern, and there are tons of studies and research and all kinds of data and statistics to prove this. So what is more important, somebody who smoked a joint or somebody who is harming children or repeat offenders against women or elderly people? Or can we just stop acting like SA and R are not violent crime? They are violent crimes. They are very violent crimes, and they are detrimental to the well-being of the entire community. Oh, Lord. I love that you're talking about this and getting the word out there. I mean, that's why I'm here. Thank you, Jackie. I forgot that. What time are you going on? I think I sent a reminder, but I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself either to remember the time because I will forget. Nope, we do not claim him. No, you don't get a flag. Okay? You get a prison sentence. My kid gave evidence at 7 in court. It took 2 years to build a case. He got off and was working in a school as a cleaner while on bail. I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not. And there were many reasons why I quit the sheriff's department. It was racism. It was how offenders against children, just whatever, it was just a lot. And that's why I'm going to do a bunch of videos on this. And it's not for clout. It is because this is a prime example of the norm. And we need to talk about it and force things to change. And we can. You can. All those politicians who were helping protect this Josh Duggar person, vote them out. Figure out the politician who won't do that or try to, and vote them in. We collectively, we do have power. You just have to, if all of us came together and said no more of this is not going to happen anymore, and forced things to change, then there would be no alternative. If you think about it, everything would have to change. UK court system is completely corrupt. I swear most of our judges are dodgy. Should look how short the sentences are for. I know Laura Richards is trying, like that woman is working her ass off trying to make things better, but she needs all of you in the UK to step up with her because she's trying to do some really good work. Like a national registry for stalkers and DV abusers. Chef's kiss, man. So let me ask, who actually does get anywhere with charges? In what way, Leanne? But like the DA is going to have a lot of power. But then so too does a judge. I mean, it really seems like Homeland Security was trying to build a case, and that's why they took a while arresting him. So, kudos to them. It seems like they didn't give a fuck. and they were going after him. Now, the video they were talking about, the one in particular, I had someone there was an officer who would come in to have warrants signed. I didn't know the guy. We weren't like best buddies or anything, but he apparently viewed a portion of that video and he killed himself a week later because it was that bad. He couldn't get that out of his brain. And that tells you something. That should tell everyone something. Anyone who is defending this dude, why are you defending him? Because from what I have been told, it is one of the most horrifying videos in existence. And he had it. And it sounds like, allegedly, possibly, maybe, he purposefully searched for it. And if so, I don't believe in the death penalty, per se, unless it's a crime like this. In this situation, this kind of crime, I do believe in the death penalty. Wholeheartedly. If there is a preponderance of evidence that stands up in a court of law where there is the presumption of innocence until proven guilty, etc., right? Then I believe in the death penalty. Hopefully this sets off a chain reaction and everything comes out. I would not be surprised if there is much, much more that is still hidden in this case. I wouldn't be either. He did try, he did take steps to try to hide the material he was watching. Something that has incensed me is the fact that KJ was releasing information as the court hearing was going on. She wasn't supposed to do that. She wasn't supposed to do that. She was not supposed to take screenshots or record any of the audio or any of that. But, and it kind of sounds like this judge may not play. Look, we have a judge. Okay, I worked in courts. Okay, so different judges may have different rules, like slightly different rules, right? So my judge did not allow any weapons in his courtroom. Hence, I did not carry any weapons. I could have, but no. And also, I had to go up into the jail to bring people down for their bond setting, which is extremely important. And most of the people shouldn't have been in jail anyway. So I can't have weapons up in the jail, right? So different judges have different rules. There was another judge who allowed one deputy to have a weapon in the courtroom, but that deputy didn't go up in the jail. Okay. So this judge has rules that she sets. And if KJ is going against those rules, oh, okay, he's right there. The door's locked, so I can't open it. But Marcus has baby girl. So if she's doing things that are going against this judge's orders, this is a federal court. I would never even contemplate doing that because you never know. A federal judge could decide they're going to throw the whole courthouse and all of the law books at you and on top of you. Like you can get a fine. You can be ordered to be remanded and have contempt of court. So therefore serve a certain amount of time in a jail. I mean, there are so many different ways that a judge can come at you and fuck you up. And I'm not even playing. I mean, it is a crime. It is. If she can say it's not all she wants to, I don't give a fuck. It is. I worked in courts. Hi. You say you're an investigative journalist. You seem to think you know every fucking thing that there is to know about every fucking thing. I worked in criminal courts. What you're doing is a crime. What you did is a crime. And if that judge wants to come back on you and jump you, you sure to follow the rules, dude. I mean, some judges don't play, man. You look, I saw a judge remand someone on contempt of court because he laughed. It was the exact wrong thing to do. And another guy, he was remanded because he made hand signals and facial gestures at a victim, a witness, and he was out on bail. Not anymore. That ended quickly in court in front of a judge. I mean, you show your ass to a judge, they may just chop it off. She has no respect for victims. She doesn't even know what the meaning of that. She doesn't understand. And so if any people who have been in this culture, in this group, or been victimized in any way, in this type of way at all, I beg of you, don't go to KJ. Don't go to a content creator on YouTube unless you really need help. Then go to find one of the credible counselors on here. You can reach out to me and I can put you in touch with information, or you can call RAINN, RAINN. You can call the domestic violence hotline. Both of these groups, RAINN and the domestic violence hotline, will sit with you for hours, for as long as you need, as long as it is safe for you to sit with them. I mean, I've had a friend who was in a DV situation and they sat with me for hours putting together a plan for her. And then I also was in a domestic violence situation. And yet again, they sat with me for hours, figuring out what my moves were going to be and helping me to put it together. The fact that, yes, I was in an abusive relationship, and yes, I did need to take these steps. And that's what they're there for. So don't feel like you're going to be taking up space that someone else needs or any of that, baby. Don't feel that way, because they have tons of people working these lines and they're there for you. Okay. But don't go to KJ. Do not share your trauma with KJ. She has no problem doxing people. She doesn't even see it as doxing. Okay. She will have no problem sharing your trauma with God, Goddess, and everyone. And she will say things that will potentially tell the world who you are and where you are and what happened to you and who your abusers were. Don't share any of your experience with her. Just don't. She is not safe. I'm an ex-victims advocate, and I probably will go back into it in the future. She is not safe. I'm saying this as an actual person who worked in that field and has the fucking training and the certifications, and I know what the fuck I'm doing. KJ is not safe. Okay. I know some people I'm thinking about doing it. My degree in work history is in journalism. Just say no. It's fine for her to be there because although she isn't media, she is of a certain type of media, so it's fine to be there, but there's a reason for the rules. I really don't think she should be there considering her history. And the fact that she won't follow rules. She's not going to follow rules. Rules don't apply to her. What? For her, rules are subjective. And it's not that far of a difference from these groups. For them, these rules are subjective, right? So where the Bible says, render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's, whatever, they don't have to do that, right? They just do whatever they want to do. Especially if you're a man. If you're a man, then the entire world was made for you by God. That's a quote. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. If you're a man, the entire world was made for you by God. Then there's another quote. If you are a white man, the entire world was made for you by God. Tell me that's not white supremacy. This doesn't say when they're going on, and I can't click on it, or it'll, hold on. I can't read the, does that say 9 or 8? I actually can't read the lettering. I need to change my contact lenses. I watched Ellie B's video. I had to watch it in portions. It was hard. But yeah, I mean, when they're in recess, you can kind of talk about some things, but you know, she, from the sound of it, handled it much better, much by a long shot, much better than KJ. So 9 and 15. Fuck. Okay. I don't want to go over on their time, but this is kind of, there's a lot going on in these groups that is extremely toxic. Is just toxic. I mean, Ellie B gets it that she's not like the end all be all of the fucking universe. And that we have these rules for a reason. And she doesn't want the court coming after her. She's smart enough to understand that the court could come after her. Like, she gets it, right? She's like actually a member of this society. And God, there's so much I could say. Like, fucking. Like, if I was a court deputy and saw what KJ had done, I would have been like, I might need to take lunch or something, because you never know how a judge is going to respond to that. I can almost tell you what the court deputies are thinking right now. This dumbass right here might have made more work for me. Lord. Yeah, I really, I kind of appreciated Ella B's video. I just went, you know, I have rules. I have rules on here. Anyone who watches the replay or is watching right now, I have rules on here. I'm not going to talk about specific traumas to children. I'm not going to say their names. You know, there are times when I will be extremely vague with who, how, what exactly happened. Because if a victim ever sees one of my videos or live streams, I don't want them to be re-traumatized. So, yes, it really hurts me that she did that. She didn't just do that to the court, but to the victims. Yeah. She didn't care. It's all about that money, baby. It's all about that money. She says she wants to help people and build women up and all this and that when it's convenient for her, but really she's just all about that cash. She's all about her bank account. And it hurts my soul because some things, money is just not worth, it's just not worth it. KJ tweeted today the specifics. Oh God, don't bring it up here. All right, it's bad. It's really fucking horrifying. If she watched it, she had. All right. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna get mad. If she watched it, then she deserves a criminal charge because that is the re-victimization. Anyone who watches that shit should. This is my opinion. This is my opinion only. in my opinion, anyone who watches that filth should be like, the characters in Hellraiser sound really good to me. You know, Pinhead and all that. If I ever break the rules in chat, please tell me. I don't have that thing in my brain that tells me not to say stuff, which is why I can't make YouTube videos. Right on. I mean, it's, you know, we don't really have a lot of rules, just, you know, hey, Keebler Elf. I love that name too, by the way. That is cute. You know, we're just careful with things. If you say something that we don't allow in chat, we may delete it, but it's not like a slight against you, if that makes sense. She was very specific. She would. Now you know she makes shit up too, though. So if she watched it, that is against the law. Yes, it is. Yes, that would be. Yes. It won't be played in open court. I hope to God not. God, Goddess, all of them. It should not be played in court. If so, people will be traumatized. They will. It will. Look, that, no. No one needs to see that. I mean, the only way to obtain it would be through illegal means. Yes. Highly illegal. And watching it is highly illegal. Having any of it is illegal. If she watched it, she is problematic. It's been described in news articles. That should not have been described in news articles. I'm hoping she didn't. It was bad enough for her to tweet specifics. She should not have tweeted those. She's not an investigative journalist and she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. And no. Oh, wait. What is this, Leanne? I'm reading something, so I can't see the chat, y'all. I'll be right back with you. Jesus fucking Christ. So she tweets something that that potentially the family could see. And she doesn't give a fuck. But she's a victim's advocate. And she cares. The jury should, and I think in some jurisdictions they do have counseling for juries on cases like this, but not all of them. It's like a jurisdiction by jurisdiction situation. Yeah, Leanne, it's better for me to know what she's doing, really. She does. She needs to have some consequences for her actions at some point. It's got to happen. As a victim's advocate, I don't know if any family members would ever see this video, but I'm sorry about what KJ is doing. You know, any victims out there or survivors, I apologize because she never will. Water. Can y'all hang tight for a minute while I go grab a glass of water? Okay. From the jury I was on, we were so exhausted each night that week. It was so much, the pictures, the evidence, it was awful. They should have had, I think they should have trauma counselors for jury members for that. I do. Because, if you're a real human being, that's awful. You don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to say this outright. The behavior I have seen from KJ is just awful in so many different ways, on so many different levels. It's just awful. Leanne, I don't know if you want to see that. It's bad. There are some things that should not be shared. There are some things that just should not be. Well, I don't understand what. And she's gaining new subscribers from it, from what she's doing. But karma is a bitch. All right, y'all. Hydrate. Hydrate. Leanne, hydrate. I need to refill my water filter thing. That's how much water I've been drinking. All right, so I wanted to have the live streams be kind of like, I guess, more not lighthearted, but kind of a break from making regular videos. But because of life, I haven't been making the regular videos, so I'm just doing live streams at the moment. So I guess I'm gonna have to put together a schedule of, talking about these groups that perpetuate the patriarchy to a severe level. They're severe. It's bad. And it's from the top down. Oh, wow. There's a course I can enroll for. That looks interesting. Okay. So homeschooling is also part of this, though. Homeschooling comes into it. And so we're going to be talking about homeschooling and how that is used to isolate children, and so then they can, be treated badly. There's a course. The World War II Museum has courses you can take on occasion. And this one looks kind of interesting. I get emails from the World War II Museum because I'm all about history. Wow. I'm still kind of reeling from KJ. The bitch has no filter. There's no bounds of reason or, anything. Okay. Now she's right. She is, I will give her this. A clock is right twice a day, right? So she's right. These groups are problematic. No, it's okay, Leanne. She's right that these groups are problematic. Fine. That's fine. She's right. But the way she goes about talking about these things and all of that is just obviously a money grab. She has no self-awareness at all. No. 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 And when you think about it, it's just a matter of time before it bites her in the ass. I mean, I really wonder why she stopped talking about the, what was that? The young mothers, I don't know a lot about reality TV. what was the one with the young teenage moms or whatever? And she stopped talking about them. And I think maybe they threatened to go after her or something. Maybe, she's not talking about Tati anymore. Teen moms. Right. Is that what it takes for her to realize that there are some things she shouldn't do? And then she's spiteful about it? Anyway, so Josh Duggar, let's go back to this scumbag. Henceforth called scumbag because in my opinion, allegedly, he's a scumbag. This is my opinion. I don't think that he should have been allowed out for any reason. I don't know the law enough to say for sure, but when you agree to terms and services of the Zoom held by court, the court is the host. You can get into a lot of legal privacy trouble, especially when it's a federal court. Yes, even more so. So Zoom could come at her, but then also federal. Federal court is a big ball of worms that it's a can of worms you don't want to open. She seems to think she is impervious, but no. I don't know. This judge probably has no idea the kind of person KJ is. I don't know. Okay. So Josh Duggar, more than likely, he's not going to take this really all that seriously. He probably thinks that he has, what's the word? That he's went to God and his elders and whatnot, and he's been redeemed and forgiven and all this shit. And so therefore God will protect him from the courts and from the legal justice that he rightly deserves. Because in their minds, that is how things should go. There's God, there's the husband, there's the wife, there's the children. So he thinks he's right below God. Think about that for a second. Think about how that might warp your brain. All right, so Sunshinery is probably coming on soon. I'm going to need a little bit of a palette cleanser. I think we all are. Let's put that off to the side for a minute, and we'll talk more about this later, don't worry, because there's a lot. Also, I have to recommend Fundy Fridays. They're really good. And then the ex-Scientology guy, I forget his name. I'll have to look it up. That's really good. And then Ellie Bell's video about the Josh Duggar thing is really good. So there's material out there. I highly recommend Fundy Fridays. They go into a lot of it and break it down. He's forgetting that God may forgive, but it does not mean there aren't consequences, and that forgiveness comes from Josh's repentance. They seem to forget that. Repentance, and also you have to mean it when you repent, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, okay, so today I did the bare minimum. I wasn't about putting a bunch of makeup on. So I did eyebrows, and I used the Sweet Talk palette from ColourPop, which is awesome, and the lip oil in Truth Bomb, because it seemed fitting. And I also used their white eyeliner. So I just, bare minimum, not even joking. I wasn't into doing all this stuff. So yeah, highly recommend. Also, I wanted to bring up for like Sharemare and anyone else who likes like a just an easy palette. This palette is awesome. And here's why. So I just used, what is the name of this? Dream Maker. This one right here. Catch Me. And Side to Side, which is this glittery right here. It's a super shock shadow. That's it. Just 3. That's all. Now on camera, you can't really see very well how this actually looks, but in real life, it looks really fucking good. And it took me 5 minutes. I'm just saying. So yeah, it was an easy makeup day today. All right, y'all. I'm gonna head over to Sunshinery after this. Remember, you have the right to say no. Even God says so. You have the right to, good Lord, you have the right to say no, and your no should be respected. If your no is not respected, you can leave that group or religion or whatever behind, and it's okay. There are people out here who will love you and treat you with respect, and not treat you like you're cattle, like you're a broodmare, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna crochet some more and check out Sunshinery. So yeah, so in the about page we have all the social media. We have a Discord, and we do have a PayPal. If you want to contribute to my crochet fund, that'd be great. Because there's going to be a lot of crocheting going down. Also, we have the links to RAIN and the domestic violence hotline. If you're having a problem or what have you, and you want to speak confidentially, I can do that with you, but I will give you those links to those resources because they have all the databases on their computers, and they will help you find the help you need. So, there's help out there for you. Thanks for being here, Ballistic. Thanks for everyone who is here. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, ring all. Check us out on all social medias. I'm on TikTok as well, and I will be making videos on TikTok also. And I love y'all. And big hugs. Don't forget to hydrate. Right now, see you over there, Leanne. For a second, I thought you were going to go to sleep with Ballistic. I was like, what? Can we have a night where you teach us how to crochet? I mean, sure. It's really easy. If you can count, you can crochet. I've been crocheting since I was a kid, so, and I want to get back into sewing as well. So yeah, all right, guys, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate every single subscribe. Thank you very much. Y'all are helping more than you realize. So yeah, all right, bye y'all. See you over at Sunshinery if you join us over there. Have a good night. Oh, and thank you, Sharemare.